showed up asking Cain, "Where is your brother at?" And Cain snapped back, "I don't know. Am I my brother's babysitter or something?" God said, "Your brother's blood is screaming from the earth. You've broken trust. Now the ground you used to farm won't bless you hard work. You'll drift, no home, no chill." I want to talk to you guys about this story specifically. I was studying it not too long ago, and what stood out to me was that God tells Cain, if you do what is right, if you do what's right, you're going to get a thumbs up, as the Gen Z Bible says here. And the thing about this is that we do focus a lot on the killing, and that's important, and the offerings. But what stood out to me this time around was the fact that Cain knew what he had to do, and yet he didn't do it. Not only that, but he got envious that his brother Abel was recognized for doing the thing that was right, that he was told to do. Right? This is kind of like how in Naruto, this is like early stages, right? Sakura, for example, she gets mad that Naruto and Sasuke, you remember the beginning, they were like in one team. She gets mad that they're progressing and she is not. But they're actually putting in the effort and she's not, right? So it's the same dynamic there. Or when, what's this guy's name from My Hero? Mineta, he also gets mad when he sees people like Deku and others outperforming him, even though he's not putting in the same effort. And we don't only see this in the Bible, we don't only see this in anime, but we see it in real life. We are surrounded at times by people that will get mad at others' successes, even though they themselves have not put in the work, right? You haven't put in the work to deserve that promotion, to deserve that job that the other person that probably has been grinding for a while to get. You know, a lot of the times, you know, people get mad or get envious when you have, you know, these stars that pop off or these athletes that pop off. Meanwhile, in the background, they've been working for like 5-10 years in their craft, honing what they're doing in order to succeed. But yet you get mad because they're getting success even though you haven't put in the work. And I think that, you know, that's human nature, right? We see somebody get something good and we think that we should be getting recognized for whatever it is that we're doing, even though we're not putting in that same effort. So part of the lesson here with Cain and with Abel is that you know, God says be careful because sin is crouching at your door, right? This human nature of getting envious of people's successes, especially when we haven't worked for it, is something that is natural to us. So God is warning us, like, be careful, because that can turn into a sinful action. Unfortunately, in the case of Cain and Abel, he killed his brother. I'm not saying that we're gonna go to that extreme, but that desire, that sinful desire that you have, that envy, can turn into you not developing but harming friendships that you have, because you're getting mad at your friends for succeeding when they've put in the work. So instead of getting mad at the person for succeeding, look at yourself, look at what you're doing, and maybe you're not working hard enough or as hard as that other person that's getting ahead, right? So instead of getting mad, instead of listening to that initial sinful thought and desire, look at yourself. And I don't know, maybe even ask your friend or that person that you may be a little bit envious of, and find out what they did to get there. Because if you learn to do the right things and you do them, you're going to be blessed. You're going to see the results. So that's the moral of the story in this case, is that, you know, when those feelings come in, envy is a natural thing. Hold on to that. Like, you know, understand that sin is crouching at your door, and you have two decisions to make. You either listen to it or you walk away from it. You can either be Cain, kill your brother. I'm not saying that you're going to do that, but you can listen to the envy desire and do something stupid, or you can reflect on it and shun that sinful desire and focus on improving yourself, because if you do what is right, you will be recognized. All right, guys, this is all that I have for you today, and as always, just want to remind you that we must persevere. Peace.